Every little comment, every small setback, when this affects you deeply, you're giving away your power. The fact is, those who remain steadiest don't encounter less difficulties. They just master how they react. Picture navigating existence unshaken. No excessive rumination, no uncontrolled reactions. Only absolute command. Here I'll show you ways to discipline your consciousness to behave unaffected by everything. Mastering the nothing bothers me mindset is essential. Existence is packed with interference, external validation, everyday irritations, sudden obstacles. What if I reveal that authentic force originates from perfecting purposeful neutrality? The key is learning to separate your feelings from outside events. When you let circumstances to control your state, you turn into an instrument of powers outside your command. But when you train your mind to remain unmoved, you transform into the architect of your fate. When you adopt this attitude, you radiate power without saying a word. Think of the most influential individuals who ever existed. They never were people who responded without thinking to each offense. Their power wasn't their ability to argue, but instead in their power to remain unaffected. Imagine a scenario when someone offends you openly. The instinctive reaction of many consists of rage. But what happens if you merely grin and leave? You rob the instigator of their power. Identical principles govern defeats and obstacles. Individuals who grasp the strength of neutrality view defeat simply as information, a learning experience. They do not internalize failure. They merely witness, adapt, and move forward. In what way do you develop this magnitude of command? Develop the custom of stopping before reacting. Question internally, does this circumstance genuinely impact my long-term goals? One more essential factor is visualization. Picture yourself as an individual who moves through life unaffected. As you strengthen this representation in your mind, it converts to your existence. Emotional separation doesn't mean repressing sentiments. It's about mastering them. Picture this. You're within a fierce debate. Should you permit their statements to command your sentiments, or do you smile unaffected? When you adopt this approach, stress decreases, lucidity expands. What you concentrate on, you magnetize. However, when you seize command of your thoughts and emotions, you transform into the designer of your destiny. Disciplining yourself toward effective distance doesn't indicate you grow callous. It indicates you stop letting outside powers to control your internal state. Your emotions serve you, not conversely. Strategic detachment is extraordinary ability. We're programmed to think we must care about everything. However, authentic independence arrives when you understand that most things simply don't matter. Indifference doesn't mean apathy. It indicates choice. Not each struggle deserves combat. As you cease responding to any small disturbance, you regain control. Cease pursuing validation. Pursuing validation is a snare. The moment you give another person the strength to establish your significance, you lose control over your individual journey. Authentic assurance isn't provided. It's forged through individual autonomy. The most charismatic people don't beg for approval. They own who they are, defects in everything. Independence emerges when you relinquish the necessity to be liked by everyone. No matter what you do, someone will perpetually opine. So why waste your energy trying to please everyone? If you wish to escape from the approval trap, start by asking yourself, whose assessment authentically matters? Another crucial step is learning to validate yourself. When you start recognizing your inherent significance, external approval becomes irrelevant. The second you quit chasing acceptance is the moment you start living freely. Criticism is inevitable, however, how you process it determines your power. Criticism only has as much power as you grant it. When you engage effectively, you allow it to dominate you. The most resilient persons don't permit condemnation to unsettle them. They evaluate with lucid thinking. Take what's useful and reject the remainder. Examine condemnation through rationality, not feeling. Two kinds of condemnation occur: helpful and damaging. Constructive criticism is valuable. Harmful judgment, conversely, is designed to break you down. Not each judgment warrants your concentration. When you answer condemnation with tranquil neutrality, you demonstrate to everyone that your assurance is solid. The most powerful individuals don't worry about condemnation. They utilize it intelligently or they dismiss it totally. Tension uncovers persons. Some break, yet the powerful remain unshaken, since they condition their thinking before the tempest comes. The secret is distancing from a necessity for mastery. Not each will advance as planned. Yet you don't respond sentimentally. You answer with planning. Many individuals break when stressed as they oppose truth. Your mind is your battlefield. The thoughts you allow in will establish your success or failure. To condition an unwavering consciousness, you must build mental habits. Appreciation to oppose pessimism. Discipline to override laziness. Each day you should discipline yourself to be unfazed, to pause before reacting. Many individuals are prisoners of their feelings, yet those who master their thinking control everything. Mental strength is built in routine, trivial occasions. Within the most potent cognitive routines you can develop is distance. Detachment does not mean indifference. It means control. An additional vital component consists of rigor. Thinking constantly pursues convenience. Yet rigor reconstructs thinking. Commence minimally. Pledge to practices that reinforce your mental strength. Real power moves in silence. It doesn't chase notice. It just executes and allows outcomes to communicate. The most vocal individuals present are frequently the most fragile. If you desire to be honored, stop announcing your plans. Accomplishment isn't forged through statements. It's constructed via deeds. The further you speak, the more you attract inspection. When you work in silence, nobody perceives your approach. The most powerful people don't waste energy proving themselves. They permit their accomplishment to express. Quietness isn't inactive. It is strategy. When you do speak, your statements possess significance. In an existence where all frantically seek recognition, be the person who doesn't pursue acknowledgement. While others chase attention, you chase mastery. This is a distinction between people who speak of achieving magnificent goals and those who actually do them. The moment you stop feeding external validation, you'll observe something. Persons will commence observing. They'll question your method. And that's when you'll understand you've authentically commanded circumstances. Not because you told the world, but because you showed it without vocalizing.